to Learn Astrology with Mary. Now I'm going to make a demonstration of, so this is astrology in action, which is very exciting. One must remember how exciting it is. And here we have the chart for Aqua, who's an Aquarius who was born in America, and she has a Leo ascendant sun in the 6th. So I've already talked about this in podcast 101, and now I want to demonstrate, because she's had various different health issues, and I've made a little timeline of the health issues. Let me just move that across there like that. Okay, and then we can move the computer backwards and forwards to those dates and see what's happening. Now we need to keep in mind, so this is the date of birth, 3rd of the 2nd 1989, cluster chart, all the planets on one side of the circle. The moon is actually, I think it's 15 degrees. This computer program I'm using is not entirely accurate. I don't know, I've lost it now. Might be on preview. She's actually 13 degrees per Capricorn, and Zodiac makes it 10, but ignore that. Her moon is a few further degrees, but we'll get the basic gist of it. And there's Pluto, so we need to keep an eye on that. So born 1989. Now, age 7, she started to get migraines. It kept her off school, and so she was prescribed medication so that she would be able to go to school. Now, we need to keep in mind that when children have complaints, that we're not, what's the word I want to use, going overboard with the way to treat whatever the issue is. And I believe she was on those for a while. So she mentioned migraines at least a few times a year for the whole life. I was even put on medication in control when I was 7 because I was missing a lot of school. I get them less often as an adult. They mostly come on when I'm having my period. Okay, so that was the first medical condition that she had age 7. So let's go to 1996 and see what's happening, keeping in mind Pluto. Okay, so I'm going to go to 1996, and that's her email. Where's my timeline gone? There we go. So now Pluto has moved out of the sign of Scorpio, and there's been a shift. So Uranus was here, and by the age 7, so Uranus was in the sign of Sagittarius when she was born. Sorry, big pardon, was in the sign of Capricorn when she was born. She's all very clustered. And then by the time she gets to the age 7, which is 1996, which is what we've got here. Let me take that back. So it's her actual birthday. She was born on the 3rd. So we've got, not that these things actually happened bang on her birthday, but that's the age. Oh my goodness, Mary, get the timeline up. There we go. Thank you. Uranus, okay, is now on her Mercury. So there's Uranus is pretty much conjunct to Mercury, and Mercury is how we think, okay? So if I'd been involved in this as a case, I would say, well, actually, Uranus is causing the issues at the moment, so we need to be doing relaxation, we need to be using remedies that are calming, we need to be looking at what else might be causing the migraines. But astrologically, what was going on was Uranus, the planet of sudden happenings, conjuncting onto Mercury, and Neptune's there as well. So by the age of 7, Neptune shifted a bit. It's just beginning to go out of the sign of Capricorn, but it is still there. Oh my goodness, I'm going to cough. I've got a dreadful cold. Excuse me. So let me just get a little. There we are. It's a health issue, and I've got a horrible cold. Hey, so she also got tummy aches as well. Now the tummy, astrologically, is what house? Let's have a look. So the stomach and the bowels is 6. So in medical astrology, the bowels govern the 6th house. The heart is the 5th. Breast, stomachs, spleen is the 3rd. The liver, gallbladder, and the neck is the 2nd. The cerebrum, the spinal cord, etc. is the 1st. We'll come back to that. The digestion, where the heck have we got hips? Digestion is the 10th. And natally, Aquarius has, Miss Aqua has Jupiter in the 10th. Interesting. Um, so I would have thought if you've got a sun in the sixth house anyway, you're more likely to be an anxious person or to worry about things. So it's learning tricks and techniques that would reduce that. Okay, so I mean it's all very well me making these comments. I mean this I wasn't involved in this case at that time, and I'm just making observations about the astrology of it. So what might have been inverted commas causing the issues. Okay. Now, by the time she gets to 12, she's beginning to self-harm and she's having lots of mental health issues. So let's go to 2001. Now, this is what I mentioned in my earlier podcast. Let's bring my... Thank you. Pluto is now conjuncting her Uranus. So when before Uranus was conjuncting Mercury and possibly causing the headaches, because this is how we think, and Uranus is a sudden planet. It's not a smooth energy. When you've got such a clustered chart, when Pluto comes along, it's going to go past and activate, whatever word you want to use, is going to be intermingling, it's going to be making direct aspects to every planet that is in the cluster. And if you have a one-sided chart and you've got Pluto here, you're going to basically spend a long amount of your life under its influence, so you've really got to understand what the energies of Pluto is about. But she gets to 12 and now Pluto is on Uranus, so two outer planets are now aspecting each other. Okay, by 13, 2002, she has an eating disorder. Bring that back up. Because this is eating up here, but sixth house is the bowels and the solar plexus, right? So this is a bit further down the digestive tract as the sun is located there. Okay, so needing to find things that are calming and soothing, that's the word. So it doesn't sound as if there was much soothing going on. So age 14 to 16, she got OCD and she was hospitalised, and she made various suicide attempts, and I don't want to be doing any triggers for anybody, so we have established that we're talking in general terms here now, so we don't want to be triggering anybody that's listening to this. So what was going on astrologically then between 2003 and 2005? So we're 2001 now, so 3, there's 3. We've got Neptune's in the mix. 3, Mars is there. Well, it's going to be there anyway. But we're looking at outer planets now. Uranus is just leaving the sign of Aquarius, so whew, that one's out of the way. But Pluto's now taken its place, and we get to 2005, and Pluto is now on Saturn. Okay, so Pluto's making aspects there. Mars is there, but I think more than that, the key thing now is Neptune, because Neptune's a planet of psychic ability, and maybe if she had channeled this energy into doing some sort of psychic work, possibly that would have reduced the anxiety and given us something else to focus on. And I'm talking about ordinary bog standard sort of psychic stuff, you know, maybe something nice and gentle, like astral projection, or maybe tuning into things for other people. And we can't really do that when you're a teenager, but you can experiment with those things and not go to extremes and watch millions of YouTube videos and get yourself totally scared, right? So this particular program does give us an analysis of when something does something. So there we go. Sun-Neptune conjunction. Neptune's association with sensitivity and compassion is emphasised here, and also its impracticality and idealism. Change is seen, but this will be subtle. So it's about using the intuition. So if you can trust your intuition and how you are. So I don't know what her personal circumstances were or how her parents cope with it. I'm sure it was stressful for everybody. But maybe allowing dreams, you know, a bit of dream therapy or something might help. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not making any criticisms here. Okay, now so we get to 2009 and she's hit by a car. So let's go to 2009. Okay, and Saturn has just been over the ascendant. It's finished now. Jupiter's in the sign. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the first house, the spinal cord is here, and she broke her. Now, what did she say? She's broken a bit of the body. She broke her femur, which, if I remember rightly, is in the leg. Flipping hope that's the case. And anyway, legs are around about up here in astrology, because if you imagine you've got a person's head here and you bend them backwards, so it's very basic, isn't it? But the legs, the ankles is the 11th house, the feet are the 12th house. I presume the hips and thighs are the 9th. This is the 9th here. Bones, knees, yeah, it's the 10th. And there's no particular planets up there. I would actually need to know the specific date of when that car accident happened, but we have got an outer planet here. We've got Pluto is now onto the moon, and the moon is how we feel, and Pluto is about deep change and transformation. So I don't know how the car accident impacted Miss Aquarius, but the moon and Pluto are making a conjunction. But for I'd have to have the specific date. I've only done the 2nd of in fact, she said it was Jan 2009. Let's go back a bit. January 2009. We'd need to see what sign the moon was in, because I would have thought everything else is okay-ish. But we got Pluto's now gone to Capricorn. It's conjuncting the moon. Now, 2016 in February. So let's do February 2016. February 2016. And this is such a lovely computer program. It moves everything forwards. Look at that. Now, this is very sad. Here, look. In February 2016, she had an ectopic pregnancy. We've got Venus, Mercury, and Pluto are all conjuncting her natal planets, which are in the 5th. So let's give you the accurate chart here, because Zodiac, the program I'm using, isn't particularly accurate. Moon, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus are in the 5th. So these planets here should be squished into there, but the computer program won't allow it because you wouldn't see them. But this is all in the 5th. And we've got Venus there, which is the love planet. So Venus onto the moon, which would increase fertility. Unfortunately, with it being an ectopic pregnancy, that does. It's Nino Hospital, yeah. She has had other pregnancies. I think she's had 3, and that is I'm in agreement with what she said, that it must be because she's got the cluster of planets in the 5th, that's for sure. And more than anything, it's the moon in the 5th that allows more sort of ideas of fertility. Now, 2017, she has back pain. I mentioned earlier that the back, what did I do? The spinal cord is the 1st house. So back pain starts in August 2017. Let's see what's happening there. August. We've got the Sun and Mars. Okay, so we're going to blame some planets here because they would be transiting through. There we go, look. There's the Sun, there's Mars going there in in August. So if we're going to blame any planets, that's going to be the jobbies. That's the whole of August. We've got these going across the ascendant. She's got a Leo ascendant and going through the 1st house, and the 1st house is what governs the spinal cord. So these aren't things that are permanent. Well, you have to remember the whole thing with transits is that they literally is that word transitory. They're not lasting. Something will come and move and go past and then move again, and then it's gone. And then maybe it wouldn't, if you've got a one-sided chart like this, maybe it wouldn't make any influence on you until maybe it's in an opposition. But definitely if you've got a one-sided chart, when something comes past you, you're gonna feel it. Okay. Next is May, sciatic nerves, IBS. She's had it all her life, mostly. Probably started with the medication, I would have thought. It can disrupt the digestion. But May, she had a painful sciatic nerve. So let's go to May 2018, which is this year. May, we haven't got a date, so we go to the beginning of the month. So digestion, remembering, of course, is the 6th house. So there's the beginning of the month. So let's see what's going to be going through the 6th at that point. I think we're going to blame Mars again. Maybe you haven't got a very good relationship to Mars, Miss Aquarius. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, Mars is there. that's probably where I'm not saying it's causing the pain, but that's reflecting how it is for you, because this is the planet of action, aggression and energy. In your own natal chart, you've got it in the sign of Taurus, so it would be forming a square at that point because your sun is already square to Mars, so that's accentuating it. So again, the things that you're talking about doing yoga, yeah, great idea, do those things, anything to help you relax. Yeah. And now, plans for the future is she would like to start in the massage therapy school in April 2019. So let's go forwards to April 2019. April is the 4th month, and we go to the beginning of the month and see what's going to be going on there. So for the whole of April, we've got cluster planets up here in Pisces. There's not going to be anything going on, I don't think, for any of April, because everything's up here now, and these are slower moving jobbies. So there's nothing to stop that from happening, nothing that's going to be interfering with it. It's a good time to start. This section of the chart here is to do with belief, long distance travel, further education, spirituality, further education. So this course that you'll be doing isn't something you learn at school. I would definitely classify that as further education. So Uranus is going to help that. So Uranus is going to activate your Mars there in the 9th. It's a long transit. It's going to be there for a number of years. Let's go forwards. It's going to be there until 2025. So this is about your beliefs, and Uranus is transiting your own Mars and your natal Jupiter located there, so that's all lovely stuff. So let me just go back to today. So we're 2018 and I'm the 11th month. Let's see where the planets are today. I think I'm the 24th today or thereabouts. 24th, yeah. Okay, so let's go 24th. Planets today. Moon's up there in Gemini. Saturn is now on the moon, so we had Pluto before, but this isn't such a hard knock because you've natally got moon and Saturn conjunct anyway, so this is sort of like a deja vu type of thing, and you're having a Saturn return, which is when we grow up, we get to 28, 29, 30, and then we become the person that we're going to be. So it's the first segment of the life, yeah. So assuming you live to 90, it's your first third of life. And Saturn is about growing up. It's in the 5th house, which is about creativity. That's nice. It's not going to be bad for you because Saturn is the ruling planet to Capricorn, so that's lush. Auntie Mary likes that. We've got a number of planets transiting through the 4th. You don't natally have any planets there. Let's just double. Oopsie, wrong one. Let's just double check. Your natal chart is empty and Jupiter's transiting, so this is the roots and the home. This is international connections. This is reaching out to other countries via your home, which is, if that isn't you emailing me and talking about this, I don't know what is. Remember, of course, that natally you have Pluto in your third. Third's how you communicate, and Pluto's quite a whopper of a planet to have there. Pluto in third house head Gemini's therefore covers speaking, communication. This does not sit naturally with dark, secretive Pluto's watchful and silent character. The astral expectation is that your thinking will be highly important to you, but you may not share your thoughts with others. You may keep a blank expression on your face. Ho, we'll see. So that's just a little discussion. Thank you very much. I'm calling you Miss Aquarius. Thank you very much for sharing your charts with us. And that's just a little demonstration of from childhood. Let's go back. So when I am analysing someone's chart using medical astrology, I will always do a timeline. We need to see what started first to make the person weaker to recovery, more susceptible to, and it's age 7 with the migraines, and then that's the sort of catalyst of things. So she's gone from that to a very severe illness to getting back her health, and now she's okay. There's pain, and I've mentioned already about John Sarner's check out TMS. And now she's making the decision to go to massage therapy school and work with people and help them, which the sun in the 6th would be good for that, because you've had these tragic experiences. I know you were trying to sort of in your email make them lighter than they are, but I mean, you know, they're life changing. To have a big chunk of your childhood, especially your teens, taken up with something so energy diminishing, and to be able to survive it, which you have, yes, even though you've had the suicide attempts, you are full of life now, yeah. And the Leo ascendant is your saving grace, so that's the important thing to remember, that's kept you having a sunny attitude towards things. But just remembering, of course, that Sun in the 6th there, let's just do the analysis. I don't know if my computer's going to allow me to do that. Can we click? Oh, we run out of brain on. Here we go. Sun in the 6th. The 6th house is associated with the Virgonian values of organisation and self-discipline, but also the less famous Virgonian attributes of serving others and of communicative powers, possibly quite critical of ones. Because Virgo is so strongly associated with order and routine, you may, depending on your planet sign relations, find it difficult to strike a balance between becoming too ordered and hence stuck in a rut, or too fearful of order and hence a little chaotic. So it is important for you, with Sun in the 6th house, is to reduce worries and have some order, even if it's just writing lists. So that's just a little demonstration of planets transiting and possibly contributing towards health issues. My name's Mary English. You can find me at maryenglish.com, maryenglish.co.uk, and I will now turn off the recording and close these down.